I have to do it. We gotta talk about the Nelk boys interviewing Netanyahu. I truly never thought I'd actually say those words. Don't know who the Nelk boys are. They are like a prank group, I guess. Well, that's how they first started. Now they do like lifestyle. They're very pro-Trump. They hang out with Dana White, stuff like that. So they've gone viral. Kind of not for the best of reasons. They had the opportunity of interviewing the war criminal, the man that is currently in charge of committing the genocide against the Palestinian people, Netanyahu. This man also has multiple corrupt charges against himself, and he has been avoiding trial. And the way he's been avoiding trial is by bombing people. He bombed Syria, he bombed Damascus. Then he said, you know what, I'm not feeling well, I have food poisoning. And so because of that, they were like, you know what, let's just move the trial to September. So that's just like a little bit about this psycho.
The people of Gaza.
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself, then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them at all, and then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
And after this, there was no pushback. And we all know this is a fucking lie. We know that there's been proof over and over again, not just from Palestinian journalists, but also from multiple human rights groups, that this isn't fucking happening. What is happening is Netanyahu has been doing is working with ISIS. Yeah. And they have been stealing the aid. 1. 2, it's where the whole Gaza humanitarian aid has come in, where the U.S. mercenaries have been shooting at the Palestinian people and have murdered over 1,000 Palestinians since the Gaza humanitarian aid has started. When you do aid, people don't get killed. That's not really how things work. It's not really a thing. Just saying. If you're gonna do an interview, any kind of interview, you kind of want to brush up on facts. I don't know, just saying.
Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine.
They were talking to Sneeko, who is a Holocaust denier, so like I'm not supportive of him. They were talking to Nick Fuentes, who not supportive of him either. He is a Nazi. He's proud of that. He has said that. And they both were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm sorry, but what you did was not okay. Like, Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal. Like, they were educating him. And it's like, you can't agree to do a fucking interview with a man that is literally committing a genocide and not do any fucking research. And when the Nelk boys were talking to Hassan, they were like, yeah, I don't really know what's going on. 21 months of genocide and you know nada? 20 months of genocide and you haven't seen any dead bodies of children on your feet? That's kind of surprising, considering that even if you try to avoid it, it's still there because everyone's fucking talking about the genocide, especially because it's 21 months of it. And then they were like, well, Hassan, if you were the one that was interviewing Netanyahu, you would do it. Here's the difference. If Hassan had the opportunity to interview Netanyahu, if I had the opportunity to interview Netanyahu, if Kyle Kalinske had the opportunity to interview Netanyahu, we have studied this. We know our shit. We know how to push. And we know how to say, yeah, that's not actually true. Here are the facts. And we would state them because we've studied it. We know the facts. We've been following this. We know the history. The Nelk boys didn't even try. Like, even if you knew nothing about Palestine and you knew nothing about Netanyahu until like a couple days before the interview, the fact that they didn't even do any research is just pure laziness. You can't interview someone without doing any fucking research. Like, what are you doing? Like, hello?
using you guys. They're using you guys to look good.
Hassan, bro. Why does anybody, Hassan? Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Hassan, anyone goes on a podcast to promote whatever they're doing. We're aware of that.
They're not. But Benjamin Netanyahu's not promoting a book, dog. He's promoting a genocide.
Bro,
That's
we
the
have
point.
fucking O.J. Simpson on. We have entertain on. It's the same shit.
Okay,
This one
none
might
of
be a
those
little bit
things.
more.
You do realize that,
They
like,
don't match. No,
this is the one instance. This is the one instance where it's the worst guess you could have, because these guys are bad people. But what you're talking about is the worst person.
It's the most hated man on the planet. But Hassan, we agree. But also, if we're going to do it, then who's not going to do it?
I'm gonna hook your ass up. I said BB to that guy Yossi, who's your Mossad handler, and Aaron said, "Who's that?" He didn't know that. He didn't know that he's named BB. I'm just that's protecting.
This is another clip that was kind of like, what are you guys doing? Is like, Netanyahu hasn't even gone on Joe Rogan or Tucker Carlson. There's no reason for him to go on the fucking Nelk Boys. They're really not political commentators. They hang out with Trump and Dana White, but that's mainly because it's like MAGA cool frat boy bullshit. Like, it's like they're not political commentators. They don't know what they're talking about. For them to have just been like, oh, he's just using it to platform him. Everyone knows who Netanyahu is. The fucking ICC has a warrant out for this motherfucker's arrest. Everyone knows who this motherfucker is. He doesn't need to platform shit. And at the same time, why would you want to humanize a man that is murdering people? That is literally starving people to death. I'm just very confused as to what the, well, anyone can go on a podcast, they're promoting it. No, that's not how things work. There's a difference between someone who is a content creator, someone who is trying to become a content creator, going on a podcast. Then there is the fucking prime minister of a terrorist state of Israel. They don't need it. They have enough power. They don't need more recognition. People know who they are. People fucking know who this motherfucker is. I think it just proves how naive they are. These guys are like in their 30s. Although, so I think maybe 40s. I'm not sure. But it just proves like the maturity level at the same time. Like, you cannot interview political leaders and not do any fucking research. Like, what are you doing? I just think it is the most insane thing I've ever seen. A lot of their comments are like people shitting on them, saying like, you just let him tell you lies after lies after lies. And I'm like, I'm glad that people in the comments are giving them shit. I really am. Because let's be real. I don't think that the manosphere is gonna last long. I think that the manosphere is kind of counting their days. I think that people have realized the manosphere is really just a joke. And they don't actually like take shit seriously. I think people saw that hypocrisy with Joe Rogan. And I think this is the final straw for a lot of people, seeing the hypocrisy and the lack of education or even just common sense thinking regarding allowing a war criminal and not pushing him on anything on the podcast. And one thing that I think is really important that Adam Friedland also said is not everything needs to be content. And I agree. Because I think they ruined their careers. I mean, I could give two fucks about that at the same time. Like, I care more about the fact that this motherfucker is still walking around free and he should be in jail and in The Hague, but free Palestine.